Welcome to Your Visionary Podcast. This podcast is specifically for you and your vision. Get ready to grow. Let's go.
Life is in the detour, so every detour we experience, that's an opportunity to learn something.
You sell yourself. Doesn't matter if you're selling ice in Alaska or if you're selling sugarcane in Haiti. They're going to buy from you.
And all of this knowledge is in captivity when it should be out in the world. He couldn't believe that I had 25 years, but the way I carried myself, you'd have thought I had 25 days left.
We try to be something so great, and we forget that we're just being humans. We're human beings, and it's like we're enough right here.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Visionary CJ here, and today I have a special episode for you guys. We're officially at the halfway point of the first season. And so I want to let you guys hear from the president of the student organization that's sponsoring this podcast. And also I'll be letting you all know what's coming for season 2. I'm super excited about season 2. I already have some guests lined up and it's about to be dope. But before we get into that, I want to let you guys know that my book, The Positive Affirmation Guide, is available for pre-order. And so if you follow me on Instagram at VisionaryCJ, CEEJ, you'll see that I just released a video, kind of like a promo video for the book. And this book is very special to me. Basically just the tools that I use to stay positive, stay optimistic. And so I'm excited to just get it out into the world, and I hope it has the effect on at least one person. You know what I'm saying? But it's out there. Go check that out. We have the Super Bowl in my city this weekend. It's about to be lit. So if you're going out, please be safe. I won't even be here. I'll be in Miami for Grant Cardone's 10XCon. And I'm recording a podcast out there with one of my friends from Miami. Super successful young guy. I can't wait for y'all to hear that one. And here we go. Episode 7. Season 1 is almost over. Let's get it. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Your Visionary Podcast. Today we have a special episode. I'm your host, Visionary CJ, and I have my friend Andrew, the president of Enactus, which is a student organization at Kennesaw State, the university that I attend. And I'm gonna just let him letting him tell you a little bit about it. How you doing, Andrew?
Hey man, I'm doing awesome. Super excited to be here, and I just can't wait to see what this podcast has in store for the rest of the semester. But
for sure.
A little bit about myself and Enactus. I'm currently the president of Enactus. I joined about 2 years ago, trying to get started with a internship I was doing with a fair trade coffee company. And Enactus was a group that I wanted to target because they are a student organization in KSU that focuses on environmental sustainability and fair trade, being socially responsible, but within the business world, which I thought was really interesting and I was immediately attracted to. So 2 years went by, and now somehow I ended up being the president. Dennis, who's our faculty advisor at KSU, wrote me into it. And so here I am now. But basically, the biggest thing about Enactus is that they operate within the 3 Ps of sustainability, which is people, profit, and planet. Nice. And so all of our projects that we do are within the business model, but they all address those 3 Ps. And then at the end of the year, because it's a big international organization, we compete with different teams all over the country and present our projects to a group of judges that it's compiled of like some of the biggest executives in the nation. So it's really intense, but it's also super exciting, and we get to have a lot of fun. This year we're going to go to Kansas City and eat some good barbecue. So I can't wait for that.
Yeah, that sounds awesome. And on the way I found you guys, I heard Dennis talking about how what Enactus was and how it centered around social entrepreneurship, and I was like, hey, I'm a social entrepreneur. I need to talk to these guys. And so I ended up coming to the meeting, meeting you, meeting the whole team. And, it felt like home. It was an awesome vibe. I loved it. And now you guys are sponsoring this podcast. So now this podcast is an official Enactus project.
Oh yeah,
which is super exciting. I'm excited to see what's in store as well. And so right now, this is kind of the halfway mark of the first season. And so this first season has been a lot of executives on, a lot of professionals, influential students as well, and just telling their stories, how they got to where they are. Mm-hmm. And so I think that was important for the listeners just to get an idea of, how certain people got to their success all the failures that they went through. And then for season 2, I wanted to be based on action. And so I have people on, and we explain, how you actually do something. So how do you make a business plan? How do you find a mentor, right? How do you network? So it'll be more of strategic steps. But this first season has just been stories. I've had a lot of fun with it. How you doing that so far?
Oh man, I've enjoyed listening to it. To be honest with you, I think you've done a really good job of picking guests that not only like you have a good connection with, but just have really interesting backgrounds and stories, and it brings something different to the table every episode. So I've really been enjoying listening. I can't wait for the newest one to come out.
Yeah, thanks.
So yeah, man, it's cool, man. I'm excited to see where it can go.
Yeah, me too, man. I know the sky's the limit. Is just putting in the work, having a positive mindset about it all. It'll do what it needs to do. And so this episode, like I said, I want to talk about what's coming in the future for it. And so, like I said, season 2 is centered around action plans.
Right.
And so we want to give you the steps you need to make it happen. And also I'm putting together a coaching opportunity. So for students who are looking to reach out to someone who is older than them, kind of like a mentor thing, but still at campus, we'll have that. I'm going to do live episodes at KSU. I'm putting something in the works right now. I can't talk too much about it, but I have something cooking for a live episode at KSU, and so I think that'll be amazing. Been thinking about doing a mastermind session, so I get some of the professionals that I interviewed or just that I know, and I have students who have a idea of a business, or they think they want to do entrepreneurship. Have them on like a live web call with the professionals, and they get to they get to tell them idea. The professionals give them their personal feedback. I think that'll be super awesome. And then more books from me as well. I got the Positive Affirmation Guide coming out in January. I'm writing another book right now for February. I'm trying to really put in the work. And just keep excelling. And so that's what's coming for the next season and for just the future with Your Visionary podcast. And so I did some research and I put together some questions that most college students have. And so I want to read them out loud and I want to answer them together. How's that sound?
Yeah, let's do it. I'm super up for it.
Okay, awesome. And so have you heard of Odyssey Online?
I've not.
Yeah, so Odyssey Online is kind of like a Reddit for colleges.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, so it's colleges from all around the U.S., students from colleges all around the U.S., they get on, they write their little blogs about any topic.
Okay.
And so I just did some research and I found some questions that most college students have. And so I just want to address that, since our target is college students and those younger. And so the first question is, how do you prepare for college? I'll just go ahead and I'll start.
Whew.
Yeah. Right. And so I would say, how do you prepare for college? You start by doing your research. Research the school you want to go to or the schools you want to go to. Go to the campus, feel the vibe, just walk through it. Even talk to some students that go there now. Just do the research, put in the work to figure out if it's the right fit for you. How do you feel just, walking around the campus and communicating with the people?
Yeah.
What do you say?
I would definitely say, think about what the school can offer you. College is definitely one of those things where it is what you make it, at the end of the day. You don't have to pick like a big glitz and glam school to get the things that you need or the things that you want to excel. But I do think, like what you said, research is a big part of it. Look at more than just the classes they offer. Look at the student organizations that they have. Look at the research centers that's at their disposal. If you want to do microbiology, do they have access to like lab spaces, things like that? Because all those are really important in terms of getting you the experience that you need to do what you want to do, or even help you figure out what you want to do with your life. So that'd be my biggest thing.
I think that's great. That's great. And so the second question is, how do you set goals? You want to go first, or you want me to?
Yeah. So this is, this is what I talk to, all my members about is we're just constantly setting goals.
Nice.
And my biggest thing is like, be realistic with yourself. Look at what you have at your disposal. Look at the skills that you currently have. And, be methodical about it. It's good to want to shoot for the stars and have big aspirations, but you got to understand that it's not a leap, it's like climbing up a ladder. Each rung should be a different goal. And so you have to look at it in terms of, in order for me to get to the top, you got to take those baby steps. Because if you try to jump from the bottom of the ladder to the top of the ladder, that's not going to end well for you. So it's just, being careful and drawing out your goals carefully, because really at the end of the day, you could be wanting to achieve something big or important, but it's really just a bunch of smaller goals that bring you to the larger end goal.
Yeah.
So that would be my advice.
Yeah, that's awesome. My advice would be to set an end goal, like a main huge vision. You know,
Right.
set that vision and then work backwards. So have the mindset, you know, what do I have to do right now to get one step closer to my end goal? Right. And so, yeah, that's my advice. And think about that when you're setting your goals. Always have that one vision in mind with every goal that you set. And, you know, make sure that it's a step that will get you closer to the, you know, the big picture in a way. All right. Yeah. And so there it is. And the fourth question. Hold on. That's the third. Okay. Third
I think it's
question.
third,
Yeah. So the third question is, should I create an online portfolio? And so I know some colleges, if you don't have the required GPA, or if you don't have the required GPA, they make you get letters of recommendation and they make you create an online portfolio, which is optional.
Yeah.
But I think when it comes to that, I think you should create one, you know, just because I think it's cool to show others what you can do or just the things that you're interested in. And it might be cool for your future. You know, you never know when you can need it, but it's always good to have that stuff in store. You know, just like kind of have that like in your arsenal just in case you need it one day. And so I would definitely say you should make an online portfolio. Even if you don't know what you want to do, just keep track of everything creative you've ever done, you know, no matter what field it's in. Because like I said, you never know when you'll need it, and it's always better to have it than to not have it.
I mean, you know, coming from me, someone I'm not a creatively gifted person. I'm much more methodical.
Okay.
But I do see the benefit in having some type of online portfolio or a way for, you know, people who are interested in what you're doing, whether, you know, it be someone that wants to hire you or someone that, you know, could be a potential partner, seeing the things that you've done in the past, or, you know, even like the classes that you took that were relevant to what you're working on. It's good to, like, you know, put yourself out there and be proud of what you accomplished, because, you know, those could be the things that separate you from other people who are trying to do the same thing.
Yeah, that's awesome. So the next question is, will I get along with my roommate? Yeah, that's tricky. I know for me personally, when I was a freshman, we weren't really friends. I wasn't friends with my roommate. I only had one. I lived in the suites. And so it was only two people in there. And we didn't get along, but we were cordial. You know, yeah, we were cordial. And so I think that's the main thing, you know, just be yourself. Don't try to impress a roommate. And I think it's up to you whether you get along with them or not. You know, it's about the energy you give off. And if you see that they're, you know, the type of person that you usually don't click with, try to understand them. And if it doesn't work, just keep your distance, I say.
Yeah.
What do you think?
No, all right. My advice: scrape your food in the trash can before you put it in the sink. Don't put your plate that has all your food on it in the sink and then just leave it there. That's, dude. You know, just, you know, it's just like Christian said, be cordial. Just be respectful. It's a shared space. You know, don't overstep your boundaries. If you know, and if you guys aren't getting along or something pops up, you know, usually it's set up to where, you know, you can have your own space, or you can find somewhere on campus where you can cool down, and I don't know. I went and would shoot pool.
Okay.
That's the thing I did when it got heated. So
nice. And it's crazy because just to think, you know, everybody wasn't raised the same way you were raised. So when it comes to the scraping the thing, like some of my roommates didn't do that. So I had to just have that conversation with them, like, hey, bro, let's just try doing this. I think
don't be afraid to have those conversations either, because you know it's important. Like, you guys need to have house rules.
All right. And question number 5 was, how will I make friends? That's important.
It is. No, I mean, I think one of the easiest way to make friends is finding a group that has the same interests that you do. And I'm not just saying like go up and ask people like, hey, like, what are you interested in? But, you know, finding those spaces on campus. There's always tons of organizations that are doing a ton of different things. It could be like a video game competitive team, or like if you are into sports, there's tons of club sports. Like I did club soccer when I was a freshman, and I made some good friends doing that. Nice. You know, a lot of people that I work with in Enactus have become some of my pretty close friends over the course of, you know, just me being in the group for 2 years. Yeah. And some of them graduated, and I still keep tabs on the day. So, you know, it's just finding what you're interested in and seeking out that organization or that group on campus, because they're out there. I mean, there's tons of stuff.
Yeah, and I would just say, like, use your resources. You know, whatever school you're at, they have a catalog of all the organizations that's, you know, available. So just do that research and figure out, you know, what are you interested in. And even if you're on campus and you see someone who has like a table set up, you know, and it looks cool, go up to them and say, hey, you know, what do you guys do? This is cool. Can you tell me about it? Right? It's just about reaching out, you know. Use your voice. Try to get involved. Ask a lot of questions and just, you know, go with what feels good with you.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so this last question, is a deep one. It is, what is my identity and who am I?
Whoa.
Right? Yeah, that's a big one, and it's a very important one. Because I think college is when you really find yourself. And I know the one person I interviewed, we were talking about, you know, if college is even important, and she was saying that college is really where you gain your personal development, because, you know, you get placed around people that you're usually not used to being around.
Right.
And so I think being around them kind of helps you find your way in a sense. And when it comes to just finding your identity, I would just say go with what you love and try to learn more about that. You know, try to listen to podcasts like this one. You know, that's for students, because you might find something that sticks with you. And then once you hear that, like hear a quote or just hear somebody say something, just meditate on that. Like think about it over and over again. Like, this was cool. What does this mean? You know, what should I take from it? And then just try to read books, because reading is super important. Even though it could be a headache at times, you know, reading a book is so much knowledge. So I think just putting in the work will really let you know who you are. What do you think?
I think honestly, having a defined self-identity it's a challenging thing, because I believe as people that, you know, we're constantly learning things, and therefore our identities are constantly evolving as a result of that. So, finding your identity in college is, I think, is really just kind of like a rebalance, because you could grow up a certain way, like coming from high school. If you haven't moved a lot, like in my case, I grew up with the same people. You know, I've known those people since kindergarten all the way up to I was a senior, and it was the same people every day. And so coming to a new school and new place where you see different faces, it kind of helps realign, you know, kind of like how you see and perceive certain things. You get different perspectives from different people, like you said. And so what I think the biggest thing to pull away from is developing your own interpretation of those things. Like it's not about just like regurgitating what you hear. Like actually take the time to think about all the different sides and come to your own conclusion. And I think that's the most important part about, you know, finding your identity. Like, what do you actually believe, or how do you feel about all the different perspectives that are around you? Yeah,
that's awesome. And I would just say, just make sure you're always learning. You know, like you said, your identity will change as you grow, but it's just important to make sure you're intentional about learning. And that's why we're doing this. That's why Your Visionary Podcast is what it is, because we're trying to help you, you know, grow, find yourself, find your purpose, your passion, and just create a vision, you know, based on your identity. And so there it is, guys. Like I said, season 2 is coming out, and it's going to be super fun. Andrew, thank you for, you know, sharing this time with me.
Oh, dude, thanks for having me, man. This was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I appreciate it. And so there it is, guys. Stay tuned for the next episode. See you guys.